XChange Newsroom coverage is brought to you by Enable, a leading integrated IT service management platform provider.
Welcome to CRN TV On Location. I'm Wade Millward, Senior Associate Editor with CRN, and I'm coming to you from XChange March 2025 here in Orlando, Florida. I'm joined by Corey Kirkendoll, CEO with 5K Technical Services. Thanks for joining me, Corey.
Hey, thanks for having me, Wade.
Yeah. And today we're talking about AI at the edge. We're looking at where we are today with AI at the edge of your network and where we're going in the future. So, Corey, I want to start with where are we at today with AI, at edge locations, with customer locations. What are you guys seeing at 5K?
Yeah, we're seeing the customers still in the educational stage, really picking up on it, saying, hey, what do I want to do with it, where I want to go? So we're really doing the education of how it's transforming their business and where they want to be. And then really diving into where they're actually using it already, but they just don't know they're using it, right? And then helping them strategically drive the best ways and the best practice to make that happen for them.
And tell me, Corey, you have a pretty strong practice around security cameras, right? So this kind of computer vision, thing is going to be big for you guys, I mean?
It is, here in Texas, man, back in Texas, and forget that we're in Orlando, but back in Texas, what we do is we spend a lot of time working on physical security from access control. We work with a lot of large medical churches, and if anybody's been there, what happens, you have somewhere between 160, 200 cameras, and you sit between, 2 or 3 65-inch TV screens, and you have a little box about that big trying to predict what's happening, who's doing something bad, and things like that happen. What people don't realize is security cameras in that area is pretty much reactive, not proactive. And so what we've been doing is we're working with some partners of ours, and we've been saying, hey, how do we streamline that to make it more proactive than it is reactive? And what we're leveraging is that, let's say, one of the programs we're working on is take the weather and say, hey, it's 106 degrees in Dallas. I'm looking at camera 1 out into the parking lot, and I see Rick jump out of a car, 106 degrees, puts on a black trench coat, puts something on, look a little bit bulky. Here's what I want to get done. Why don't I alert and say that, hey, why don't you meet Rick at door 1 to see what's going on, to be able to alert, to say, here's what's happening. Because what we've known is we've seen a lot of incidents and shooter incidents that comes in, that incident is all the way into the building. And that's usually, then we go back to the video to say what happened. So wouldn't it be cool to say, hey, that's what we're seeing. Now I stopped them at the front to be able to see it, but then also in a natural language, to be able to talk to AI and say, can you tell me everywhere you saw Rick, the guy with the black trench coat, and they were passed through, and it gives you a full stream across the cameras. Say, here's camera 1, camera 15, camera 17, camera 36, camera whatever it is, to show where they went to that, to actually prevent something bad from happening versus saying, hey, let's report about something bad that's happened.
Yeah, that's such a great example because we all know about, summarizing emails and all these great application use cases, but you're hitting on how this is, we're solving really important problems here, just total transformation.
Yeah, and I believe it's a game changer, being able to take something as cool as AI and something as technology and really leveraging. What's great is we're leveraging the investment they already have in the cameras, and all we need basically is the IP stream and access to the camera feed, and to be able to analyze the data and feed this back. So there's a low cost to get involved, but over time, the benefit and the value is huge.
For your customers, how important because we're AI PCs, Copilot Plus PCs, these are on the market. Is that going to be an important element for bringing AI at the local level for your customers?
I believe it is. And so what we spend a lot of time with our vendors, the Lenovo's, the Dells, the HPEs, and really understanding what these PCs can do. And I believe it's a game changer. One, we're looking at it and says, who in your stack, whether you're a lawyer or a nonprofit or whatever, who's writing code to actually take advantage of the NPUs and the processors that are using that to be able to get the best bang for the buck. Because if you're not looking at that and they're not writing to that, and they upgrade and they're using old technology to write and dogging down the CPU, now I just made them go to a Snapdragon PC, spend an extra $1,000 for it, and it doesn't perform the way they thought it was going to perform. They think that, hey man, you hoodwinked me. You gave me this thing, and it's not us. It's a software vendor that's not taking advantage of those features. But I believe it's definitely going to be a game changer that says, here's what we're doing, here's how I'm able to do that inside the PC, and here's how I ultimately make you better and more productive.
Yeah. Do you actually have a message to all the AI vendors out there? Like, what do you want to be seeing from the product perspective or the partner perspective that would really help you and your customers make the most of this AI?
Yeah, it almost says, don't use that word. Let's double click down and figure out what are you really doing with AI and what's actually happening in that situation, and how do we really make it usable and productive to the end customer to know how we can articulate to them and really show them the value. Help us prove the value of AI, not just using AI for the sake of using the word, but how I get down and show the actual value of what is coming to.
Yeah, and we're talking about transforming your customers, but we talk all the time about how your business is transforming in the AI era. Tell me about it. Tell me where y'all are going.
Man, I firmly believe that, I remember I was at Bob at another conference you had, and the HPE, the CEO of HPE came out, he says, we have to learn to be a major in our current business and a minor in AI. And we have to learn to coexist with AI. And I take that to heart, and that's what we do. We are majors in the MSP and support business, but we have a minor in how AI helps us enable that, right? And then we learn that we coexist with that, and that's what's happening to transform that. So don't be scared of it, embrace it, learn it, and use it where it makes sense. But understand that you still have to validate that with a human to make sure that it goes and it's speaking your message and doing the right thing. And that's what we do for our customers and what we're doing internal for 5K.
Yeah, that's awesome. Have you all been able to launch new practices in the AI era? Like, have you always had this like consulting angle? I know you talked to me about even being a little bit software developed.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, talk to me about it.
I believe that that's the next phase, and what I feel like I got an advantage because I came from the software. I knew right away when I got out of school, I was doing some programming. I said, I never want to sit in a cubicle. They throw food over it. Don't feed them every now and then, but that's what I did not want to write lines of code. But what I did was I took what we did, I learned the waterfall method, I learned the agile method, and what it came back is that allows me to now take that process and that project back and say, you know what, we're transforming, bringing that agile method, bringing, MVP to the customer right away and actually transforming to where we're taking that software development piece, turn it into a monthly recurring, because what's happening is because AI is changing so fast that you're constantly updating, changing your model, relearning, understanding what 4.0 versus 4.5 versus 5 versus Anthropic versus whatever's coming up is. It's a constant deal that the customer doesn't have the expertise. But that's something where we as MSPs have the ability to do that. And it is totally a software development model.
Yeah, and I know you're all over the AI news, so we're seeing things like DeepSeek, right, are giving us encouragement. Okay, we're seeing the costs come down, adoption can happen. Yeah,
and that's the piece is, as always, I believe the cost will start to come down, make it more palatable. But that's the cool part about this SMB business. They have the ability to make rapid changes quickly and adopt it and get rid of all the red tape to do whatever it is to get in and adopt it very quickly.
Yeah. I'm stealing a line from a speaker here earlier today, but yeah, those smaller organizations, they can move faster than a big enterprise, right? With fewer obstacles. It's such an exciting time. Corey, thanks for being here with me, and thank you for joining us with CRN TV on Location.
Wait, as always, it's my pleasure.